All right, guys, we have reached the last part of my interview with Ray. And in this episode, he talks about his venture of breaking formation, what it means to him, and how he got started. Please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so and turn on your notifications so that you can be informed when Mitch Files drop every Monday. Without further ado, part 3 of my interview with Ray. And so I was like, man, I want to do that. And literally, even though you were like, man, just go ahead and do it. I knew I wasn't ready, but I bought all the equipment. Like I have equipment under this desk right now that I'm going to use for when I interview like my wife and whoever is sitting in front of me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? But like, it was like when I tell you that you guys, um, you in particular, but you guys have been a positive influence on the way that I started operating and the way I started doing things. Just seeing life in a different, I guess, light.
yeah,
Um, but like I said, when I seen that mentality shift from you, I was like, all right, if Ray can do it, so can I. You know what I mean? And then um, I just started making different choices, and I just noticed that my life was getting just a little bit better day by day. I still deal with my mental health struggles, like we all do, but for the most part, like my life has turned around. I would say honestly since I started my own lawn care
yeah,
business, and I think it's because a big part of it is because it's on my terms. It's not on anybody else's terms,
yeah, yeah, man. I mean
And
that's
then
just so important, bro. And I appreciate you sharing that because I mean that's like even the thing that I posted today, man. I was like, yo, I was dead serious, man. Like the past few days, I just been like, I don't want to say out of it, bro, but just like just in my head, like just in my head. And I was like, but when you start, you're always. I think at this point, like now, all my conversations are like this. So I had calls with people yesterday. Even on my mentor's one property away summit, like called me up to talk to while he was doing it. I was in the I'm in there, I'm listening too. I'm in the chat, talking to people, and then he's just like, yo, we see that Ray's here, can we bring him up? So like I honestly, bro, like I'm gonna be dead serious, man. And man, I had like coffee spilt on my shirt. Bro, I think I had like a snack right there. Like I wasn't in any type of mental space to really jump on. But then when he asked me to do that, like I know somebody. And that's all I was like, I don't need to be always focused on like, yo, I'm trying to impact thousands of people. Yo, I'm just like, yo, just one. Just one with this message, just one with this podcast, just one with whatever. And that's all I was thinking. I was like, yo, so I didn't tell him, I was like, yo, I wasn't ready for it. But if I can just help one person, hey man, I think I had like 8 messages in Facebook because there's a private Facebook group, by the end of that message or whatever. Um, and it's like, okay. And then at the end of the day, man, I had a conversation with somebody else. And, just last night, just kind of went to, before going to bed, like I was just watching a podcast with Jay Shetty and Dr. Joe Dispenza. And they're talking about like, just imagine
I
yourself.
love Jay
Yeah, man,
Shetty.
just imagine yourself like when you do get the things that you want, like, how are you going to feel? Like, can you imagine how you're going to feel and feel like that right now? Like, feel like that right now. And when you say like your mind is just so powerful, bro, like I was just literally trying to, and my daughter's like, she be just summer, so she'd be crashing out with me in the room. She'd be all, I got a king size bed, bro. She'd be all up in my space, but she just like, cause I was watching the living room. She's like, when you come to bed, I was like, baby, I'm just gonna watch this. Like, you can go watch whatever, chill. I'll be daddy been there a little bit, um, and just watch. But I probably watched like 20 minutes of it, and I was like, okay. It got to a point where I was like, cool. Like, I can take that. And man, I just woke up this morning because we have accountability calls at like 4:45 or at 5 o'clock with ET in the squad, and like part of the thing, like bro, I was up, man. I was just like, just had like a different vibe, different energy. Um, they want to talk about things you're doing. So I even mentioned, I was like, yo, I got a podcast interview with my boy that I serve with. He's just getting it started. I was like, so we're gonna be doing that today. But just like a completely different energy, got done with that. Did a couple things like read my devotionals, read some scripture, and then just just a different energy. Just went and then just went back in the room, man, made me a cup of coffee, went and sat down, like sat in the bed while my daughter was sleeping. Like she woke up and kind of like laid on my, like on my stomach. And I was just like, yo, like this is like you said, like this
This
is
is
why,
it.
like this is it. Like I'm just sipping the coffee, man. And she's like, what time? Because they had a field trip today, from their camp. So she's like, what
Mhm.
time do we have to leave? And I was like, you baby, you got time. You still got like another 30 minutes. You just go back to sleep. But just like a completely different energy today, like even at the gym, drop her off, like even a couple uncomfortable calls today with some on the real estate side, people that I'm working with. But like just, still start trying to encourage. It's just a different, you start doing that kind of stuff, and then
Mhm.
people, even when you're not feeling up to it, when people reach out to you because they need something, because they look at you as that person
Yeah.
that's feeding them, like, it forces you to get back into that mindset. It forces you to get back to that positive space because you're, you know, whatever reason you feeling not as, you just like, "Man, life, like, life
Yeah.
life be life in the day, like, and yesterday." And then when someone calls you and you're just like, "Look," and you're talking to them, but really you're talking to yourself. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, stop all that crying, like,
Yeah.
you're right, you're right.
All right. And finally, I just want to put everyone that's watching this on to break formation. Like you can take as much time as you want to talk about this venture of yours. I'm 100% behind it. I am going to do your online course here once my lawn season is done, and once I'm done doing all these college classes. I do intend on taking that. Just talk about you know how everything got started, you connecting with ET through this, and just all the different opportunities it has presented to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, bro, when I first started, break information, I was initially calling it, year 21, YTL,
Year tw-
and
I
then, like, the
remember that.
sub slogan was, like, break information, so the idea was, and this is why it's always so important just, like, do the personal development piece, is one of the guys, his name is Rory Vaden, one of his slogans is, like, "You're most perfectly and powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were." So I think about that moment when I realized, yo, mentally I was done. It was a moment. Like I just like, yo, I'm done with this. Like I'm tired of it. I'm done. I'm done. And I was like, but I don't know what I'm gonna do next because I haven't even thought about it. Like in the entire time that we're in, you're always like, yo, I can do 20 years and get out. I can retire when I'm 38 or whatever you. And I was like, but beyond that piece, like I never thought about what I was gonna do, like what life was gonna look like. It was just like I knew I was gonna retire. And what I wanted break information to be about, or year 21 to be about, is like, what do you want that first year to look like after 20 years of service? Like, what do you want it to look like? And then the break information piece was, um, you know, physically stepping away from formation, but mentally breaking up the way that you've been thinking for the past 20 years, the conformity, all these things. Because I mean, I'm a firm believer that a lot of our veteran suicide rates isn't because of mostly PTSD. It's a lot of from you've had this identity and this purpose, and you've had this position of authority and recognized for all your accolades, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Like you don't have any type of identity. You don't belong to any community. Because even the people that when you retire and they're in your area, they move on in a year or so. Like they PCS, and all of a sudden, like you don't know anybody else here anymore. So I was like, yeah, like to avoid that, like we need to start creating some sort of purpose, focus, identity. Build a business, do something. And as much as I still very much want to do that for service members, the problem with us is, bruh, is veterans. We expect stuff to be for free. But then I also realized there's so many other people out there that go to school that were, one of my coaching clients, he's in med school right now, but he's wanted to be a doctor ever since he was 6 because both his parents were doctors. Man, I coached him and I was supposed to be
Mhm.
coaching him on real estate, and I'm just coaching him through life. And after about month 2, 2 and a half, 3, he just like, "Ray, like," and this is like on the first, like his vision. Like I was like, "Yo, write out like what it is. What do you see life looking like in 5 years? What do you want to do? Like, what are the things that if it's perfect, what does it look like?" And he's like, "Private practice, doing this and that." And after about 2 months, he's like, "Ray, I don't even want to be a doctor. I don't even want to do this." He goes, "I've only been wanting to
Wow.
do this because my parents said it." So I was like, breaking formations became okay. There's a lot of us that you're just living life because somebody else formed some sort of idea in our head of what it should look like, whether it's society and the whole go to school and get good grades so you go to college, get a degree so you can get a good career and then do that until you're 60. So I don't even know what retirement age is. Do that until you're 60 something and then just live life, the best way, bro. Like, I'm 39, man, and I've got back problems and knee problems and I was like, I can't imagine that's why I go to the gym all the time. It's like, I want to stay moving, but it's not going to get any better as I get older. Like, it's not going to, my bones, my joints and stuff aren't going to get younger. So what is it? What is that? And that too, scripturally, like what breaking formations is off of, like Romans 12:2. When you take the online course, you'll hear it, but it's like, be not conformed to the ways of this world, but the renewing of your mind. And it's like, and that's a constant
I
thing,
like
like
it.
just daily, just the renewing of your mind. Like, what I learned last year may not always be relevant today. What I learned in the previous relationship I was in may not be relevant in the one I am in now or the one that's to come. Friendship, business, romantic, whatever it is, like it may not be relevant. So break information ended up, and this comes from me be listening to the free stuff on the podcast. And then last year I was like, yo, I need to get in the room. Get in the room, like go to a conference. So last year, I think I went to every conference that Eric Thompson Associates ETA had, and just started like I told you, like you don't need everything. Conference 6 days, 3 days, 2 days. You don't need everything. Like you just if you find one thing, like one thing that you just like, okay, I connected with that. Like take it and just apply it. So I'll tell people right now, is like I am very much in real estate. I'm an investor, I'm a lender, I'm a real estate coach. I've spoken at a real estate conference. I'm actually going to be on the summit this Friday, speaking on that on the virtual summit. I go, but I don't enjoy real estate at all. But it's
Mhm.
not bigger than why I do it. And I sold this from the same thing, like a one line. I don't remember what conference it was, but like enjoying it isn't a requirement for getting it done. And what it is to me is allowing me to be present. So I don't need to enjoy real estate in order for me to do it because it serves the thing that I very much want to do. And just like you said, you starting this podcast and us doing this other podcast, it's about so many people overcomplicate getting to the goal or the vision of life that they want. The vision of what you think that Wayne Mitchell thinks that life should look like is not the same one that I think it looks like. But we overcomplicate the process and we're like, yeah, well, they got to do this and they got to do that. When realistically, you just look at life wrong. Like you said, your perspective shifted. And Inky Johnson says, perception drives performance. The way you view things is the way you do things. And if I view life as a constant struggle all the time and a constant pain point, I'm going to do things from a place of pain and a place of struggle. I'm never going to look at it from just like I was talking about yesterday. Like I was, physically, mentally, just felt emotionally like drained. And then just listening to something and like actually applying it. Okay, what would it look like? How would I feel if I was actually just in a good space right now? Like, how would I feel? And just think about that before I went to sleep. And then I woke up today just like,
Yeah.
yo, just energized, just wanting to like sharing a message. Like I dropped 2 messages today. I usually only do one.
Yeah.
Um, so Breaking Formation it's a coaching and consulting company that I started through ETA. And part of the message I shared today was like, yo, you taking the philosophies and the strategies and applying them. But the thing that got me connected with him and even my mentor Jamal was all I'm trying to do is go back and serve people. So most perfectly and powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were, but serving people that might be in that same space and place of struggle mentally, of thinking that this life that you want is 5 years away, or it's 10 years away, or it's when I'm able to retire, when realistically there's all kinds of free stuff out there for you to consume and for you to apply. And if you need someone to help you, just like when we were in, that we all had leaders. We were
Hmm.
leaders. And there were people that needed a little bit more guidance and a little bit more push. And in any job that you have, when you go apply for a job, someone expects you to give you some OJT or to give you some training for this new position you're in. But we don't treat life that way. Like, we don't go into life looking for somebody to help me. Like, I see you at a certain level. We don't want to go and be like, hey, how did I get to that level? And we're not willing to invest our time and our resources into that. So,
Put the work
yeah,
in.
it's like, yeah, so the coaching and consulting piece, like, yeah, that's why I'm becoming a coach. That's, well, not becoming a coach. That's why I am a coach, is because I've done that. Like, I've paid to be in the room around people. Like, I've paid for courses. I've paid, like, I'm, ET and his squad is literally my coach. And I paid for it. But not only that, but I'm serving for when we see things that we see, we're during our time in, like, when there's a gap that needs to be filled, like, I'm not gonna wait for somebody else to tell me to fill that gap. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, like, this needs to be done," and either find the right person that needs to fix it or do it myself. And that's allowed me to start filling other capacities where I'm literally working on projects directly for him. Probably like 3 of them right now.
Nice.
And it still trips me out, like, especially that video that I posted. As much as I've had conversations with him, or even him calling me out, like, during some of these, mastermind events, like, asking about something. Well, he sent that video, and it was just like it was like one of those surreal moments, because during that time when I found them as a podcast, as a book, like, they were just, he was just some guy on a podcast that I was really just feeling, I was just clicking with, and it was never in my plan or my vision to, like, actually be connected to him in that capacity. And having,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
having his phone number and having him randomly send me a video just expressing appreciation for what I'm doing, like, that was never the intent. And that's why, no matter who you are, what type of personality style you have, like, at the end of the day, like, we all serve people. And if you just embrace that and stop putting your ego above your actions to serve one another, you're gonna see that it's gonna serve you in return. And it may not look like what you want it to look like. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I would like to be in a better financial position than I'm in, but I know it's coming. And I know it's coming because there
Right.
continue, you saying that I helped you shift your mindset, and that you're mentally, because you've been vocal about, like, your mental struggles, or saying about, like, shifting, that's helping you. And it truly is like, if we want to get out of those space, like, it's on us to get out of our own way, because we have the autonomy to do it. And if we just stop listening to the
Right.
rest of the world of telling us how we should do things, and you decide how you want to do it, and if you see someone that's in a position that you want to be in, truly adopt, and that's what this episode that you just listened to, like, adopt their blueprint. Like, if you don't have one of your own, it's like, take theirs, adopt it to you, and then make the modifications necessary so that it fits you and your lifestyle and your personality and your energy and the vision that you want for yourself. And then once you're past that, then you can tailor it to truly be your own. And then don't just do that and be selfish and keep it. There's somebody else that's exactly like you that needs exactly what you got. So go give it to them. And don't wait till you're
It's
perfect. Don't wait till you feel like you're perfect, because by you not doing that, man, somebody else is still suffering because you're waiting for you to feel perfect when somebody else needs your message right now. Someone needs it today. Someone needs it, on your phone, imperfect, ugly, no camera. Someone needs your message right now to help them get out of the space and place that they're currently in, to start living in their purpose and focus in life. So that's why I'm always about, I'm gonna do it imperfectly. I'm not gonna do it now, I'm gonna do it right now. And if I struggle and I stumble along the way, yeah, that's just another lesson I can teach someone else before I'm done with this. So, yeah, break information initially started about serving service members, but now it's just about serving people to help them get their visions to come to life, to give them the focus, to give them action strategy and accountability, to let them know, like, yo, you're not so special that you're the only one struggling through life. Like, we all do. Like, I'm not so special that this has happened because Ray is dope at whatever. I just decided that I didn't want this anymore. and I'm gonna do what I need to do to get the things that I want. So yeah.
The something that you said a few minutes ago, you were saying how like when you get the information to to pass it along, don't try to hold it in. The one downfall that I would say that happened at that lawn care conference that I went to back in January was there was literally companies in there that were making millions of dollars in revenue, right? And when you like you said, you wanted to get in the room. So I was in that room, and I was asking the questions, and like none of them were willing to share that $1 million strategy. There was one guy that I sat next to the whole conference. He was the only person that shared with my little small business in Colorado Springs, hey man, you should consider doing this right
Yeah.
here. It will benefit you in the long run. You'll have some miles on your wheels, and stuff like that. And that's when I messaged you and I was like, hey man, I'm seriously considering doing this. And then you basically was like, what's the purpose of it? And so that's when I was like, okay, let me think on this tonight, and I will have an answer for that. You know what I mean? And it 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 was a tough pill to swallow because it was like, man, all these successful businesses in here, and like no one is sharing the blueprint. And I never want to be that person, nor do I want to surround myself with anyone that's not willing to. And I'm not saying that it has to be free, but like if you're willing to share the blueprint for me to better myself as a person, as a company, as a husband, as a father, so on and so forth, and it's the right information, like I am going to soak that in as much as I possibly can soak it
Yeah.
in. And so you started your own online course, you started breaking formation, you started a podcast, you were doing your coaching program, you were doing a lot right now, for everyone, sending words of encouragement through Facebook and Instagram. Dude, I absolutely love those messages, and I honestly sit there. Sometimes I'll be watching them, and be like, man, I wish that I had words like that, and
Me
it's
too.
not that I'm comparing myself to what you're doing, but like, man, it's almost like you know exactly how I'm feeling in the moment, and you are speaking directly to me. That's literally how I feel when I'm watching those videos. And same with the podcast. And I can, like you said, as long as you can change one person's perspective, at a time, then you're winning. I'm telling you right now, man, I'm giving you your flowers for sure, because seeing your transformation has changed mine. And like you said about getting in the room, I told you a while back, man, I'm going to try to join you on one of those conferences, because I do want to get in that room as well. And so I will continue to bug you on those, and you continue to bug me when they're coming up, and if I can swing it, I will most certainly try my best to make it out there. But how can someone that wants to follow you, that's watching this video right now, how can someone follow your journey, follow your social medias, your websites, and the information that you give? I will make sure that I put it in the description box as well.
Yeah, cool. I mean, on IG, so it's Rays RAYS underscore breaking underscore formation, just like that, just how that's spelled. Nothing crazy. And then my website is www.breakinformation.com. Um, and then the podcast is, that's linked in both the IG, my Facebook. My Facebook is just Raymond Jones, and the Road to Results podcast that is on YouTube. We've also got on Facebook. We got a Facebook group. And then as far as like coaching and opportunities work that, like you can email me at ray@breakinformation.com. So all those opportunities, you can follow along. You can reach out for coaching. Um, I'm transitioning and doing group coaching. I will do one-on-ones, but obviously, like I said, it's about the why. So if you want to do one-on-ones, you're gonna be paying for some very specialized coaching one-on-one. And be honest, bro, like I started doing it. I was doing one-on-ones for a while, but most people that want to do one-on-ones want to do it when they're off work, which means I'm working when my daughter is home. and that's not the point. Like
You're working on their
I'm
schedule and
yeah,
not yours.
so that's not the point, and it just doesn't work. So, um, if somebody's gonna want the one on one, it's gonna be at a premium because you're paying me not to be with my daughter. And I'm not saying there's a right price for that, but
I like it.
the group coaching effort, one, it gives you community and other people to be around. That way, when in between coaching calls, you've got a community of people that can help you there in the same transformation process, that can lean on each other. So I'm leaning to group coaching. I'll be launching one here. It's probably going to already be launched by the time you release this, but I haven't settled on the date. So launching it in August. So if someone's interested, but I'm going to do a year long coaching program with a group of people, 52 weeks, just to, transformation doesn't happen overnight. So you'll go through that process of growth. But yeah, breakinformation.com, Ray's underscore breaking underscore formation, Ray at breakinformation.com. All the ways that they can reach out to me and connect.
Well, this is going to wrap up this interview. I just want to thank you for joining me today. I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you, bro. I thank you for all that you've done for me and my transformation. I love you. I cannot wait to do this again. Next time we have to talk about something else besides our, you know, our business ventures and the military. Well, the next story that I want to talk to you about is Warrant Officer Candidate School. We have to talk
Yeah,
about
we
it.
do. Yeah, we do.
So just let me know the next time you're free. We'll sit down and talk about it some more. And it's an entertaining talk. So hopefully everyone that's watching it will be entertained as
Yeah,
well.
man. I'm sure they
But
will.
again, I cannot wait to do this again. And fly equals fly.
All right. Go.
All right, guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in over the last 3 weeks for this interview with Ray. I really, really enjoyed this conversation with him. And honestly, I did not think it was going to be that long. I thought we were just going to get to the nitty gritty and then, you know, I could post it in one serving. But I already know I should have known better. I already know how my man Ray is, and he has a lot of good value that he brings to the table. So it was good to kind of get those little nuggets. And I hope that you guys gain something from that interview. If you guys have any questions or if you're trying to find him on social media, or if you just need some daily inspiration, he is one of my favorite people that I follow through my social medias. And I know most times I share some of his stuff, so you may see it. If you're following me on social media, you may see that stuff being posted. With that said, we're going to go ahead and end this video. Again, thank you for watching. I really, really hope you guys stick around. Thank you for the support. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.